Tuesday, everybody.
That's right, it is Tuesday.
Yeah, maybe you're getting ready to start your commute, or maybe you've already gotten to work, or maybe you don't have a commute.
Oh, that's nice.
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Well, a new WalletHub study is listing the best and worst cities for driving based on several things like traffic and infrastructure, safety, and access to vehicles and maintenance. Well, it turns out North Carolina, evidently, one of the best states for drivers.
That's where everybody's moving here.
Right?
That's right.
So take a look. Out of the list of the top 35 cities, North Carolina is home to 5 of them. That's the second most out of any state behind Texas. In fact, Raleigh was ranked as the top city in the U.S. for drivers.
Raleigh. Hey.
Raleigh.
Yeah.
Greensboro came in at number 4. Winston-Salem, 12. Durham, 15. I mean, so we had a really good showing. A little bit further down the list, though, Charlotte coming in at number 31.
I can't believe it.
That'll keep falling.
Yeah, I actually am surprised it's not worse.
All right. Well, speaking of worse, here are the worst cities. Detroit came in at number 96, followed by Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Philadelphia. But the worst city in the U.S. for drivers, Oakland, California.
Wow. I'm surprised Atlanta or D.C. aren't there, but I
know
guess
D.C. should be on that list.
Yeah, Los Angeles is really bad, though.
I did an internship when I was in college out in L.A., so my dad went with me, and we drove my car, and he was like, all right, we need to practice getting on these freeways or whatever they call them out there. And I panicked, and I, stopped. And he was like, you cannot stop. Oh, yes. He was like, you have to keep going. I was like, there's too many cars.
I remember learning to...
and why are you not surprised?
I was going to say, for her father, he's probably like, I can't believe
that was so many years ago.
I'm leaving here.
That was so many years
LA.
ago. Don't remind me of that either, Larry.
Yeah, early on in my driving career, I remember getting on the Jersey Turnpike for the first time. Terrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying. I was like, why is everyone going so fast? So, yeah, no, up in the Northeast, just in general. I think that's why our traffic is really a mixed bag, because you have the New York, the Massachusetts, the Connecticut drivers.
You got it all.
And then the slower southern drivers, which is always a mixed drive, like this one that stops in the middle of the interstate.
No, I don't do that anymore, but I did freak out.
She's reformed.
As long as you know the zipper merge.
Yes, but I will tell you, when we talked about this last time, and Rusty, our director, told me about the other way you can go, where there's a longer...
From the station to
You're
77.
specifically a local interchange.
Oh, my gosh, it has been life-changing. Because this right here onto 77...
Well, we're talking about at Clanton at 77 for folks.
It's the shortest merge ever, and then people don't want to let you merge in. And if you've watched our show before,
Billy Graham,
you know
a lot there.
zipper merging is how it's designed to be. You're supposed to go up to the very edge. The person's supposed to let you in, supposed to. But why do they speed up? Like you're cutting in line.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Zipper merging for us is we have to all get along as a society. It's
Just in life.
If you really think about
true.
it, the idea of zipper merging is pretty much a utopia, because everyone needs to come together and let everyone come in line. Yep. You go, I go, you go,
No
I
matter
go.
their speed.
Yeah, no matter the speed.
No matter how fancy their car is.
How late or early you are.
But some people do speed up. I've never understood that. It's just be polite.
Or even
let people
behind.
merge in there.
You're like, I'm getting. Oh no, I'm not. They just sped up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People speed up. I don't know why. It's almost like people they feel challenged. Yeah. You're not going to pull in front of me.
Oh, I know. So we said best city for driving, and I'm trying to think about these reasons why.
Why was Raleigh number 1?
Traffic and infrastructure. Okay, so traffic is bad in Charlotte, but certainly there are worse places.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Infrastructure. I guess that depends on what you consider infrastructure, like public transit, like light rail and subways and things like that, because Charlotte has some, but could certainly do more. And access to vehicles and maintenance. Because I'm trying to think of how we do arrive at this.
Mm-hmm.
I think Charlotte, one of the reasons everything is under construction. Every interstate, every venue, there's a traffic issue because of construction. And 485 has just been one long nightmare for people since it opened. It opened not large enough. Then they try to expand it, and they haven't finished.
So here's the thing. Let me put on my flashpoint then. Because we've talked about transportation and transit so many times on our public affairs show. So there's a theory called induced demand. And what it is in terms of traffic is that you can have 5 lanes of traffic on, say, 45 or something like that. But you can add a 6th and a 7th and an 8th. But at some point, the more lanes you add, the more people drive it. And so people who avoided 485 before then are like, oh, thank you.
Open, yeah.
We're now Flashpoint. So it really does not help. Like, you almost need either people driving less or taking public transit or taking bus or taking
Which is
the
never going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah, and because you build more lanes, and I mean, take a look at LA, for example, and I think the 5 there is like 20 lanes wide or something. Like, you literally have 10 lanes on. They keep on adding lanes, but more people just keep driving it. So you never really get ahead of the problem.
It's just if the 485 should have opened with 4 lanes rather than 2 on each side.
Oh,
I mean, it should have opened that way.
yes.
And it was just so poorly planned in the beginning. I don't know what they were thinking about. They thought, well, Charlotte's not going to grow very much. Well, I mean, it was obvious it was going to, and now it has. And then, like you say, you add more lanes, more traffic, and we're going to be another LA in another 5 years, or another Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't know why Atlanta's on the list because it is a nightmare.
Yeah.
I think it's still further
gosh.
down. And yeah, and you had mentioned that is that I think that Charlotte kind of outdid its means, and that's why we're still relatively high on the list. Because if you compare it to most big cities, we're actually not too bad. It's just also about kind of education, like Sarah said. On a smaller point, from the station, I can go this way, and it's going to be a better commute for myself.
Yeah.
The thing with us is there's actually a lot of different ways to get around. Some people just kind of get the same way. I live in Northwest Charlotte, so I have the advantage that literally I can take I-85, 16, 77, 485.
It's all where you live.
It's exactly. Sometimes you're stuck if you're in Huntersville or Mooresville.
I also wonder if in a place like Raleigh that it doesn't. I think Raleigh's an example more of a sprawling town because you have the triangle there.
True.
And it's not so concentrated like you have like within the 485 loop here in Charlotte, where it's a much higher concentration of a lot more people on it.
Well, the
less
other
roads.
thing that we forget about, Raleigh is our capital city. So it's going to have perfect.
That's right.
It's going to have the perfect roads, highway system, infrastructure. It's all going to be there. So they have the means to do that because, you know, if you're going to be the capital city, you want to be the best. And so that's where they are.
Emma chiming in saying the first time I drove in Charlotte was when I was 17 and I was with my mom in I-85. I was terrified of driving next to all the semi-trucks.
I get it.
Yeah.
I always try to go a little faster if I'm next to one of them.
Yeah.
Actually, when I first drove in here, because I was in Michigan before I came here 6 years ago, like driving in Columbus was astronomically different than anywhere else. But actually, the traffic
Columbus, Ohio.
in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
But Columbus, Ohio, and the traffic here in Charlotte, I thought Charlotte was actually going faster on the 485 loop. It was kind of a shock and awe. Hey, I'm in the South, no problem. All of a sudden, you get a 485. I was like, okay, here we go.
Crank it up.
That's right. All right. Chime in. Let us know how your morning commute's going. We'll
Are you driving while watching?
Drive safely.
Hopefully not.
Yeah,
No.
Safety first. We'll see you back here tomorrow.